You're watching Past the Wire TV.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Past the Wire TV. Just popping on for a quick second to go over something that I get asked about a lot. I've done some longer videos on this subject about ticket structure, but I get asked this a lot, and I think it's probably because you know people gravitate to the multi-race wages, the pick fours, pick fives, pick sixes, even pick threes. We all got our ways of betting. My ways are not for everybody. They're aggressive and geared toward long-term success, not short-term success. But be that as it may, uh, the Belmont Stakes Festival at Saratoga is coming up. A lot of people are going to be betting pick fours, pick fives, pick sixes. Uh, so I figured it's a good time to share my philosophy and the go back ticket and exactly what that is and how I play these wages, which, way back when the pick six was my main wager and I was, you know, making a living playing them. So it works for me. I don't play that ABC method. This is different. That's not for me. Uh, most of I don't box, I don't reverse. I have a very distinct aggressive style of playing. But when it comes to pick fours, pick fives, I have a certain way that I like to approach them, and it works for me. And if your way works for you, all the power to you. Keep doing it. But if it doesn't, you know, consider taking a look at another option. And here's how I do it. Okay, if I handicap a pick four or a pick five, or even a pick six, but a lot less likely in a pick six because the amount of the payoffs, and I only play them on really two big days now, and that's Derby Day and Breeders' Cup Day. But on pick fours and pick fives, I'll strategize and handicap the ticket that I want to play. Okay, and depending on the sequence and the size of the pool and how confident I am, and whether or not I've got a single or a vulnerable favorite, because all of that comes into play. I'll structure my ticket using, let's say, two with one, with four, with five, or whatever. If it's a pick five, two, with one, with five, with two, three. That doesn't really matter. But I will have one ticket that I will refer to as my main ticket. And I like to go as narrow as I can and feel comfortable because I like to put it in for more than the minimum amount, which is 50 cents now most of the time. Uh, so there's a main ticket, okay? And that's the ticket that includes everybody that I want to use and that I don't want to leave out. Now, you're going to cut horses, or at least I'm going to cut horses, and I'm going to leave horses out that maybe I think can win, but I don't want to use them for whatever reason. And always one of the fundamental reasons is because I want to bet the ticket for more than 50 cents. So I'm betting my main ticket and including everybody that I want to use. Now, sometimes that's the only ticket. Okay. There's, not much more to say. That's what I like. I'm comfortable with the play. And if you're comfortable, by all means, jump into the pool. But what if it's one of those days where I have different opinions on the chances of winning in certain races? In other words, I really like this horse a lot, but maybe not enough to single. But I like him better than the others and think he's got a much better chance. Or maybe there's a horse that's a big price that if he wins, I really want to make a score. There could be, 101 different reasons why you go and do what I call a go back ticket. Okay. The go back ticket is my ticket where I go and I have my main ticket over here. Now, in each leg, I use the horses that I like the best. Now, they may be the same as the main ticket in a couple of legs, maybe all but one leg. Maybe every leg is a little bit shorter. It all depends. Maybe there's a single that I didn't single on the main ticket, but on the go back ticket, that's who I like the best. I'm singling. So we've got the main ticket with all of my contenders, then the go back ticket, which is the kill shot that has the horses I like the best or a long shot I want to isolate. Now, what can never happen to me, and if you play this way, it can never happen to you. And I do believe, I don't play the ABC method, but I do believe in the ABC method, you could have all the horses on different tickets and not hit the sequence. I don't believe in that. That can't happen to me. I think that's a, door that if you leave open, eventually somebody will walk into it. So I don't do that. Uh, it's an automatic that if I hit the main ticket, the go back ticket has to win because every horse on the go back ticket is on the main ticket. It's just now I have it even more times, or now that isolated long shot, bang, gives me the kill shot. So that's when people ask me who haven't seen that old ticket structure video that I did, which is on the channel, and it goes into more detail about that and other types of wagers. Uh, but that's my go back ticket. So of course I want the go back ticket to win because that's the kill shot. That's the one that I'm going back at to really, really make it count. And you know how I play. Every single one of us is going to be wrong more than we're going to be right. So, how do you negate that? How do you overcome, take out CAWs, the other sharks in the water, and everything else by when you're right, and we're all going to be wrong more than right. When you're right, make it count. One of the ways that I do that is with that kill shot, go back ticket, and that's my philosophy with that. The other thing I'll cover briefly because I get asked all the time about this as well. Why don't I box? Why am I so much against boxing horses? Okay, I don't box because I want to beat the game. And beating the game is a long term proposition. Yes, you can box horses on a given day and make a hit. Okay. But in the long run, think about the mathematics of the situation that you're putting yourself in. Three-horse box is five losing bets off the top. Okay. Five losing bets, take out, you're starting. You're starting behind the eight ball. Okay. Uh, in the long term, we know even boxing, you're going to be wrong more than you're right. So now you got wrong more than right. You got takeout, and you got more losing wages on the ticket than you can afford. You're behind the eight ball mathematically, financially. You can't, in the long run, come out ahead. Uh, yes, by not boxing, might you say, "Oh man, I would have had that exact if I boxed those three horses or four horses that I like." Absolutely, it's going to happen. But the way I do it, if there's three horses, I'll take one of them, and instead of taking a $1 box and spending $6, I'll take one of them on top of the other two and have it for $3. So when I'm right, I'll get paid all that much more to negate, okay? Negate the red column, increase the black column, okay? That's the whole idea. Get that black column up there, okay? You want the black column high, you want the red column low. How do you do that? Less losing wages. When you win, make it count and win more money. So that's why I don't box. Now, granted, I've said that on seminars, I've said that on videos, and people will come to me and say, "Oh, well, you know, I hit this box and paid $2,000. I never would have had it if I listened to you. That's correct. But if you listen to me, you might have, instead of winning 2,000, you might have won 6,000. 6,000 goes a longer way than 2,000. And at the end of the day, you're probably going to be right around the same percentage of times. Okay. Whether it's 20%, 22%, 26%, 30%, 33%, 35%, 40, depending how 10%, depending how good you are, you're probably going to be right the same, very close to the same amount of time. So when you're right, get paid more, make it count, black column up, red column down. You got a better shot long term of coming out ahead, staying alive, and beating the game. This game can turn you into a millionaire. If you're a billionaire, you don't want that. Okay, you want to beat them. And when I say beat them, a lot of people say beat them, and they mean grind out a positive ROI. Fate no caminado with that. That's not what I mean. When I mean beat them, I mean beat them. Make scores. Make enough to buy that new car. You know what I mean? Go do something. You know what I mean? Take your significant other, your wife, on a vacation. Make 50, 100, 150, 200, 300,000 for the year. If you're a working guy, over what you're working. If you're not a working guy, to put in your pocket. That's how you play the game for a kill shot mentality, and you have to be willing to cash less tickets to win more money. And that's something that just goes against nature. So, not to get too carried away and too wrapped up on this, that's how I do it. I'm not telling anybody how to bet. Okay, I'm just telling you how I bet and how I was successful for many years betting. You do it the way that works for you. But I always say, if it's not working for you, if you're looking at your numbers and you're in the red, or you're not as much in the black as you feel you should be, try a different approach. What's the worst that could happen? You don't like it. It doesn't work for you. You can't swallow giving up those exactas. See, I could give up that box. No, I lost today. No, I'm going to get them for 3 times next time. It don't phase me. I turn the page, move on, and that's horse racing, Preakness. I got my butt kicked. It happens. All right. Hang my head low? No. And so it's horse racing. That's what happens. You're not going to win all the time. You're going to be wrong more than you're going to be right. You got to learn to stomach the losses, turn the page, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just how this game that we play goes. So if you are interested in long-term success, okay, and you want to win long-term, consider these things is all I'm saying. Again, if you're already winning, then doesn't matter. We're just horse enthusiasts and horse players, and people who love the game just talking. But if you do want to win and you're not winning, then consider it, because I don't think it's going to hurt you. I think it's going to help you. And I think that, over time, if you can do it and you could stomach those losses, you know, you could could come out ahead. And I'll give you another example. Gentleman by the name of Roshan, friend of mine who I met, through the channel, really, really nice guy. Shared a story with me the other day about a guy who hit a box. I think it paid 2,000. And he says, look, the guy boxed and he made 2,000. What a great bet. And I'm like, no, I look at it different. I look at it that he lost 4,000, because if he did it my way and he won, he would have cashed for 6,000, not 2,000. A lot of people can't get their arms around that. They just can't do it. I understand that. Okay. It is not for everybody. Some people will not be able to get their arms around that concept. I get it. But that's how I play. And I was successful playing that way for a long time. And I'll be the first to admit it's not for everybody. You got to have thick skin. You gotta have heart to play that way. This game is not for the faint of heart. So if that's you, you're already in the wrong game. But anyway, the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival is coming to you. You can bet it on AmWager. They've got some great promos going on now. I think right now, for a limited time, deposit 150. They match the 150. Great time to join. Great platform. We got Big Race Gym up at the spa, checking in with people. We've checked in with Chad Brown. We've checked in with Ken McPeak. We've checked in with Jorge Abreu. A lot more things coming out. Nobody's even got Tuscan Gold on the Belmont Possible odds right now. And from what we hear, he might be showing up in the Belmont Stakes, running against Sierra Leone. That's that. So, ciao for now, and we'll be back with an awful lot more.
Zandon's poetry in motion. Big horse, but light on his feet. And he's always showed up and been consistent and been right there with some of the top horses in training. In the Bluegrass Stakes, he showed his determination and his raw ability.
It's over! Zandon wins the Toyota Bluegrass!
I feel breeders will be really blown away by what a striking, outstanding looking horse he is.
Nobody does it better.